I see I chaired the Guilford meeting. Paris, do you want to do the presentation first, and then we'll go from there?
Whatever you would like. I can do either one.
Let's do that.
Okay. So welcome to Guilford UCC. This is the last one I actually have this month.
Where's the ballot?
I need,
My chair hadn't signed in yet? That's not a good sign.
well, I'll double check it.
Here is a few words from Mr. Lewis Panzer. So when he talks to others about 811, he likes to equate 811 with a relay race, right? And the reason he uses the relay race is the starting gun is when an individual, either a professional excavator or a homeowner, calls in and says, hey, I'm going to be doing some digging in X, Y, and Z. Bam, starting gun goes, and then, they make a lap. The excavator hands off the baton to 811, we make our lap, we hand it off to the individuals who may have utilities that are in that area within the polygon that can be affected, that need to be marked, right, to protect that facility or utility. The reason he likes to use that, he doesn't know when the race is going to finish up, right? USIC may finish before anybody, Lumen may finish up last, within the 3 working days, hopefully, but we don't never know when it's going to end, so that's why he likes to use that analogy. Their report from the CGA is due out sometime this month, so they've only got a couple of days left before the month ends. Probably not sure where that's at in the process. The board nominations were sent out, and I know they didn't give me a specific date yesterday, but they have to be in, so they could be vetted, I think, so November, I believe they said, in October, 1st of November, board nominations need to be in to make sure that they are a good fit for the board. Last but not least, always on the way, stay cool, stay safe. It's been nice these mornings out here. And, yeah, it's tough to go to work when it's nice and cool. We'll sit outside, play with the dog, and drink a cup of coffee. Here is a message from Zach Barrett, who is the director. Yeah.
Just like me to assume that all the acronyms and abbreviations are not understood. This is my first time here. I won't have to do anything.
Yeah, so you want to go back to CGA, Common Ground Alliance? Is that what you're referring to?
Yes.
Yeah, Common Ground Alliance. So they are national. They do the best practices. They keep all the roll up of, hey, this is the damages that occurred in North Carolina. So they do nationwide damages. And when we do it in North Carolina, and I'm going to say it's probably the same across the country, most of the damages that occur, telecommunications, right? The joke is they run your fiber line, they wait till it rains 2 days, they come back on the 3rd day, they stomp it in the ground. That's how deep it is. If you talk to them, I'm just kidding. Don't get mad at me, Lumen. He's my secretary too. Yeah, so they're not very deep. And that's why in the fall, in August, we always say have your utilities located before you have your yard plugged or aerated, because it's not very deep. And it has been raining a couple of days. Somebody comes out to plug your yard and they've got water in that plugger. It's going to be pulling some plugs out pretty deep, right? It could potentially be 6 to 8 inches deep, and you may damage your fiber line or your utility line, communication line, whatever it is going to your house. So if that happened to me, I couldn't work from the house anymore. Yeah. Good question though. All right, here is a Department of Transportation Pipeline Hazardous Materials Safety Administration, PHMSA, right? They have determined that the enforcement, which is the Underground Damage Prevention Review Board for North Carolina, is adequate to suit their purposes. Does that pertain to everybody? Nope. It does to the natural gas company, it does the plantation and Colonial Pipeline, and it does the Dixie Pipeline, because they transport all the materials underground and they fall under PHMSA. All right, in the state law 87-126 does state if there is a product release, and you can contact, it's not for the group here, but especially if you're coming to contact with folks out there, let them know if there's a product release, call 911 first. Right, they can help secure the scene, police, fire, and if anybody needs any medical attention because they got burnt or whatever, or exposed, the medical can be first on the scene. After that, they need to make sure you call the facility owner, hey, I just hit your stuff and jacked it up, and I'm gonna come look at it. It's not broke, but it's not one to replace it. And that's natural gas, communication, anything. If you damage it, let somebody know. Last but not least, please follow up and let folks know that they do damage the facility to call 811. We capture that information. Again, it goes to the common ground line, CGA, and the dirt light. Also, we're asking the excavators the utility owners, because the excavators most of the time don't call, right? So we're asking you as a utility owner or facility owner to call 811. Hey, somebody's putting in water and they hit our gas line. Hey, somebody's putting in power and they hit our communication line. Whatever it is, you guys and girls are the secondary call in case the first call doesn't get made. That way we can check their information. So is Piedmont Natural Gas doing that now? Sure they are. Yeah, okay, cool. Thank you. If you could, just check and make sure somebody is doing that, because we do need that information.
Hey, Perry, can you jump, as you jumping on that there?
Yeah.
So, do we have any excavators in here?
This SEC is online, is a contract.
Well, I didn't, SEC, you know, they're gonna know, but if you come across a post in the field, you know, let them know. They cut a tracer wire, and we're not gonna charge them to come out and fix that. But if they cut that tracer wire, it comes unlocated, right? So eventually, it might not be that year, it may not be a few years down the road, but eventually that thing's gonna come back to us. It's gonna be, hopefully, it's gonna come back to us as unlocatable before somebody digs into it. So help get that word out. And Ron Connor's not here. Those of y'all know Ron, he's over our fire protection folks. If you are located and you come across, you know, like in a bed, something like that, you got multiple wires in a box. If you do take them apart to isolate something, please put them back together. Yeah, me to.
Yeah, so take a picture of it before you take it,
Yeah.
so you get all the white wires back tied in, because you may not have all the wires tied in.
If you don't put it back the way it is, I mean, I know you're not gonna be able to run it with them together. But if you don't put it back together, then that system is unprotected. And it'll take a few months for that to flesh out. Our system will be down, and then we're gonna be able to find out what box it got to. So it is a headache. So, God, help his folks out, he'd be greatly appreciated. All right.
Thank you. Anybody got any questions or comments about that?
Just, I'm gonna listen to excavators in here, but if they do damage a fiber optic line, don't look into it. If you cut into it, because those infrared lights out of that,
Don't look into it?
don't look into it.
Not break.
Damage it.
Are you doing some lazy?
Save some money on surgery.
Okay. All right. Good. I didn't know that, but I've never broken one. Hopefully I don't.
Still a fax machine.
Another ship's coming to get you.
Yeah, locator logic. So as FYI, WebTMS, if you're using that now, and we rolled out HTML5, it was either last August or the year before that, I lose track of time now, is going away. WebTMS is going away. The next iteration is locator logic. There is a fee associated with that, but it is based on your ticket. There's a base fee and then based on your ticket. So why is locator logic taking the place of WebTMS? So much more you can do. It's web-based. And if you are at a place where you don't have a signal, you can actually download the stuff, actually work off the tickets, take pictures, upload it, move stuff around. And then when you get back to where a signal picks back up, whatever you upload to the system will be transmitted. So it's very cool. It's got user maps on there. I understand the mapping system on this is 10 times better than WebTMS. If you go to the website here, which is what I did, you can watch the tutorials on what you can do with the locator logic. And I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. If you do not use locator logic, you're going to be receiving your tickets via email. Then you like to print them off, which is not going to be fun. All right, any questions on that? Good. It's just a roll up of what we did last month for 811 days. Does anybody else know other than Matt, what other time of the year we like to toot our own horn? 811? What? I already gave you a t-shirt, but you can't get that. April, yeah, what is April? Why does they want to toot their own horn? What's it called?
Stay digging,
Thank you, State Digging Month, yeah. State Digging. So we went to the Gastonia Hunter, Durham Bulls, with Dominion Energy, we went to Bowman Gray with Piedmont Natural Gas. We did some radio spots, some TV spots, some social media spots. Putting the safe word out there about being safe. Really all year long, but the two times a year we highlight ourselves, 811 Day in April. We also did the paradigm training. I don't think anybody from this group attended those. We did have a couple in Greensboro, Raleigh. So speaking of social media, if anybody does a social media thing, you can go check out Safe Digging Sports on the 811 website. You can friend us. I know Ann did a podcast with an individual who does the virtual racing type thing. I don't know if anybody knows that. Well, we sponsor some of that along with Virginia 811. Howard, Corey, and myself are going to be at the NC State football game October 27th. I think the game starts at 7 or 7:30, so we'll be there until probably first quarter, and then we'll pack up and either watch the game or haul buggy home. But if anybody is in the area, you want to come by and see what kind of goodies, I might get something special. Probably not sure, but I may. If you stop by and see us at our tent, might be able to hook you up with something. All right, looking at the numbers. So this is always across the state of North Carolina. As you can see, we're going to look at August of last year versus last month, and the tickets increased 13.8%. Year to date, the tickets increased 6.6%. Transmissions last month, a 9.5% increase over 2021. Does anybody know what the transmission ratio is versus the ticket ratio? So it's one ticket, how many transmissions is sent out per ticket? 4.5. Close. So that's about 5.6, 5.7 transmissions, right? So when we draw that polygon around there, it's average about 5.6 to 5.7 utility owners that's going to receive that transmission. Go locate, go locate, go locate, go locate. And that's what the numbers mean here. Year to date, 3% overall versus 2021. Look at the 3 hour in Guilford, it's actually up 60.1%. The new tickets, 3.6%, and the ticket update, 11%. Anybody tell me if you're going and relocating? Is that on?
Yeah.
You probably don't. Well, don't know all of it. Are you guys on mute online? If you're not on mute, it picks it up. So have you guys seen a ticket update, because it is 60, well, it went from 336 to 538. Have you seen, you guys have seen that on the updates?
3 hour notice is a lot of time. I'd say out of that 60.1%, probably at least 25% of those could be March ticket.
So they're incorrectly labeled. Okay.
A lot. I might be being very.
If there's one group that's doing that, please let me know and I can reach out to them. But so everybody's learning the game system and they're saying, hey, don't call in a 3 hour. Don't call in a destroyed March. It's calling in 3 hours.
They don't want to wait 72 hours and destroy March tickets.
Well, let me ask you this: if they're calling the 3 hour in, did you guys already went out and located, right? Because per positive response, you said, yeah, we went out and located.
Yeah, 3 hours.
Okay, and only one per ticket. If somebody used it one time and they can't, they have to do a retransmit. So you go out there and say, I've already marked this. What do they say then?
I mean, they like to argue sometimes, and then some will also admit, well, I just didn't wait 72 hours.
Okay.
And then that's what we tell them,
So
sorry.
y'all pushing back? Okay, you're pushing back? All right. Yeah, so, if people are abusing the system, let Piedmont Gas know, and they can file a notice of violation, which goes to the Underground Damage Prevention Review Board. So folks aren't doing the right thing. So all the utilities around here are being hired by the utility, I'm sorry, it's all excavators, the contractor being hired. It's like he might hire SEC to do their work. If somebody's abusing the system, go to the person who's actually paying there and say, look, these folks are abusing the system.
As far as SEC, we don't locate their tickets.
Understand, I'm just using them as an example,
Right.
because they, yeah,
There's
I don't
a lot
know
of
I don't know who put them for loom.
There's a lot of excavators where they simply just either act like they didn't know or didn't know, so when you educate them, they start doing the right thing.
Okay.
So we do try to give them that chance before we go through those types of chances.
Right, and that's what we want you to handle at the lowest level, right? Communication, but if somebody continues doing it, then try to help.
Absolutely.
Yep. Okay, cool. The average locates per day last month, 582.
My laser won't show up on that board.
Sorry, yeah. Well, it doesn't do good on that material. Year to date to 3 hours, 66.3% increase. New tickets, 6.8% increase. So there's a lot of work happening in Guilford County, 48,277 new tickets called in today. Ticket update, 8.5, and the average locates per day, 488. So a lot of work that are taking place in Guilford County. Out of the 11,631 new tickets that were called in last month, you can see Greensboro had 6,976, and High Point, 2124. And I hate nobody from High Point comes from here anymore. Joe used to be the chairperson, but he got a manager position, and I think he's just really busy right now. All right, so damage is called in. Again, going back to the law, if you do damage to the facility, make sure you call in. If you're not calling in, hopefully the utility owner's calling in. Guilford had 67 damages last month that were reported to 8117. Does that mean they only had 67? Nope. That means those were the only ones that got reported to 811. All right, the Underground Damage Prevention Review Board is going to meet right down the road here, October the 18th, and that's going to be at the NC 811 Event Center. The State UCC and the LRPC, or the North Carolina Locate Resolution Partnership Committee, has already met. I won't cover those dates because you didn't make it. If you want to know what's going on within the state of North Carolina with 811, you can go to the NC 811 calendar on the website, the NC 811 app. Does anybody not have the NC 811 app downloaded? All you guys got? Morning's downloading hers now. Okay. You can check that out and see where we're going to be as far as out and about, Bowman Gray, NC State, anywhere else. For the NCUCC calendar, you can see these events. You can see online. Hey, I can join online, but I can't physically be there. Got a safety moment. So severe weather preparedness kind of along the lines of the hurricane that's battering the West Florida coast right now. If you have a shelter, make sure it's cleared out. If you're using it for storage, you may want to think about taking that stuff out of there because you can't put your body in there along with some other stuff. Flashlights and batteries in good working order and fresh batteries. Cell phone for the torch, fully charged. Food and water not only for you, but your pets. A fan to move some of that stagnant air around inside there. Hopefully nobody had some chili beans the night before. Hey, first aid kit and your medicine, right? So if you're taking a daily maintenance medicine, make sure that you have enough, probably 3 to 5 days on the medicine and your food and water as well. Important documents, you can either grab the paper documents and take them in there with it, or you can have them download to a flash drive. And I would suggest having another flash drive at another site, maybe in another state. You can encrypt it where can't nobody open it up unless they've got your secret squirrel passcode. But in case something does happen to your flash drive, you've always got it backed up. Sturdy shoes, wandering around after the storm passes. There's going to be a lot of debris around there, along with a weather radio. So you'll know when the storm passes or when the storm is approaching. If you do not have a weather radio, you can use or download these two apps, 4warnme or K4 apps, and it will play off of your fully charged cell phone over here to the left and let you know what's going on. Last but not least, make sure you prepare the family for this drill the same as you would for a fire drill, right? Touch the doors hot, another means of egress. Don't go out that door. Same for your weather preparedness. School bus, they're out there, school's back in session. I know this is the last UCC of the month, so if you're unaware of school or you encounter a school bus, please just stop. Am I supposed to stop? Am I not supposed to stop? Just stop. And that'll take but a couple seconds. The kids get on or off the bus safely, and you don't get any insurance points or points on your license, which will cost you greatly. If you want to know more about school bus safety, you can visit ncdot.gov and type in the search bar, school bus safety. There's a good-looking education team led by Ms. Ann Rushing in the middle, and Mr. Steve Moore and myself. A copy of this PDF along with a sign-in roster, and I'll grab the two names off of the virtual platform, so we'll make sure they get counted for being here. But hopefully everybody had a chance to sign in. That will be uploaded with a PDF and a video, I am taping this, of the UCC. That's all I have, sir.
Thank you, Parrish. Was there any old business last meeting? No, I think that's, so we'll move on to new business. We got more people here than we did last time, which is good. So we'll go around. If you have any new business to bring up, also introduce yourself and who you're representing, and any upcoming projects, excavation, or any new business you want to bring up. So Dylan Kirk with USIC. I'm here with Gerald with USIC. The only new business I'd bring up is that there's supposed to be a lot of fiber coming in. Luma, which used to be North State, they're supposed to be putting in a lot of fiber starting October throughout Guilford County, I believe, and other surrounding counties. Have you heard about that?
No. Is their headquarters still going to be in High Point?
But that should be starting up sometime soon. Contractor, what's the name again? DAPs, they should be doing a lot of the work, so, could be more damages, but definitely be more tickets. So we'll have to look out for that. Report what comes in next month. Matt?
Matt Parsons with Lumen Technologies. Maybe did you get the email I sent you?
Oh, I did, yeah. Let me pull that up and then share it again.
We do internal locates throughout the state on some of our fiber plant, and we adopted an update policy about 2 years ago about not going out to every update and remarking and refreshing the paint with down flag. And at the Mecklenburg meeting this morning, we had a lot of questions about it, and I guess some excavators weren't aware of what we were doing. We send out emails to the contractors with the ticket, and this is the email that you would get, and it would, instead of attention, it'll have the excavator name, ticket number in it, and it's basically us explaining to them that we're not going out to re-update or refresh that update ticket. We internally, we do, I think it's every third update, we will go out and we will refresh the paint and flag. But I guess there was a lot of misconception that Lumen was just being to the excavators, hey, this is your responsibility, we're not going to come out and remark it, but that's not the case. We go out on every ticket, that's an update, and if we see paint and flags still on the ground, we'll take a picture and document it so that there are still marks there. And if we get out there and there's no marks, we will refresh the program. It's just a way for us to eliminate some of the noise that we have with all the updates that come in. We've been doing it for 2 years now, and we've had no damages yet. But I was talking to Luis Panzer with 811, and they're going to be bringing this up to a meeting with the senator or someone, and they're going to maybe look at this to open up the law to see if they can more.
Yeah, they were talking about, changing the verbiage on it.
Yeah, because this is kind of, I'm not going to say it's a loophole, but it's very open to interpretation the way the law is right now, and this is the way that we're interpreting the law in regards to the tickets.
Y'all get a lot of 3 hours.
We don't.
Phone calls.
we have three locators for the whole state. I cover the Greensboro area, and then we sub out to the State Center. State Center, they don't do this, only intern. We don't get 3 hours of revenue calls, but we also don't respond to 3 hours if we've already responded to. So if we go out in the original ticket, mark it, locate it, and then 10 days later, they call it a 3-hour list. If we go back and we're like, oh, we marked that, we don't go back.
That's what the answer to that is, no.
Again, that's their
I mean, we
interpretation.
encourage people to call in 3 hours if you see a pet that's not marked or something, but usually in our cases, we have a transmission line, it's one fiber running through there, a double fiber running through there, and we'll look at our picture and we have clearly marked, we know where our, we'll just try to take that.
Y'all have been one damage.
From this update policy, we have had damages, we had a really, really big one in Raleigh, that was a locator issue with Lake Center. But from doing this stuff, we haven't had any damages. But, we don't, protecting our fiber plant, that's what we don't want to get damaged. This is just a way for us to not wait, 30 minutes, an hour, updating every ticket. We get it.
Yeah, did you say somebody from SEC was on there?
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that they heard of that.
Yeah, Chris is on here along with,
We'll pass that along as well, because like I said, with what y'all were saying, y'all know as well, which y'all know anyway, but in those types of situations, if we do go into a new neighborhood, a new subdivision, put in gas lines, we may be out there for a couple of weeks, put these in. And each house is like its own, it takes nothing for somebody to come out there and do a little rain front line and all.
That's about 80%.
That's where most of my problems.
Well, we heard
I
you.
wanted them to be aware of it, there could be a possibility.
Chris and Warren are online.
Yeah,
Lauren, Chris, y'all heard that, didn't you?
yeah, we heard you. One thing we got an issue with is, maybe y'all can help
You
out.
turn the
with-
volume down now, it's coming through there.
Oh.
Yeah, I said we heard you say like you said, it don't take much to destroy the marks.
We turned the volume off here, so we don't have to.
That's all right.
Other than that, though, we just ask, when there's damages to, leave the holes open for about an hour, hour and a half, until we can get out there and respond. Because a lot of people, they'll dig and they'll cut a fiber, see the rainbow roots, and they'll just cover it back up. We'll find it. We shoot up DDR, we'll get an exact location on it, and then we gotta come out here and pay our contractors to dig it up, save you guys some money if it was, not located correctly, or if it was located correctly, save you some money off the bill. All I have.
It's power,
Yeah, we just have to.
how much money is this?
The one that we had in Raleigh is, a couple $100,000.
Thanks, bro, to that point.
We had one in Greensboro about a year ago, they just sent out the bill, it was like $300,000. One fiber.
Damn, I hit one maybe 15 years ago. It wasn't March. Wait, I like to hold the back going around, trying to pull that thing down. It was almost $30,000 for a drop. It was, well, I call it a drop. Anyway, I guess it's my turn now. I'm gonna talk to them. Just stop here. So as far as projects go in the Guilford County area, we do have a lot of residential neighborhoods going in. It's not really affect Heath because they're not located in the city, but we do have a lot of residential neighborhoods going in. Continue to have that until further notice. We have a lot of services going in as well. I think so far this year, we put around 2,200 services in. God knows how many miles of main that we put in these new neighborhoods. But typically in these new neighborhoods, USIC, we go in right after power, so power is the only thing we have to worry about. Every once in a while, communications gets in before we do, because they're a little faster than we thought they would be or whatever. The projects that are going on here right now, like there's a lot of government reloads and stuff that are in design phases of infancy stages of it. We don't know exactly when they're gonna start or even if they're even gonna happen, right? We do these designs, we work with them for years, at least a year before they ever actually start doing anything, but they could be coming off. We do have some up on Air Harbor Road is supposed to be taken off. Sandy Ridge Road is another one. You got one out here at, what is the name of it? Reedy Ford area. They're putting some new roads in out there, revitalizing that whole area. So there's one road going in just to get to the fire station. With that area, so. And Russell and Centennial Avenue, we are out there working again, and we are, I want to say it's probably about 1,800 feet we have left to put in. We're averaging about 40 foot. We have to work at night, 40 foot a night to put the pipe in. So it's an ongoing thing after dark in the streets and roadways. Be careful when you're out there. When they were out there the last time, the whole reason it stopped was because they had law enforcement blocking for them. And some people got shot up and flew into the work zone, and everybody got scared. So that was kind of how they saw the law enforcement, so they pulled into their work zone to get help from law enforcement. So it kind of shut things down, but it does get a little dangerous around there from time to time. So if you do have to go out at night, be looking out for that. Other than that, that's all we really got going on major-wise here in the Guilford County area.
Thanks, Captain.
Andy and Matt, I think y'all can say something, man.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much, I mean, bro, I got crews and techs up in Greensboro and techs here in Greensboro, and Powell's not here today, but we all see the same emails and things like we're in one of those times where a lot of demo going on, a lot of services we need, you know, if we're retiring, mains, we've been retiring, and, you know, the contractors just, they're not planning it well, but, you know, just saying that, they appreciate it, you guys, you know, get it located the right, and get it done on time, and we just have to end up dealing with them being pissed because they didn't plan their job well enough, but that's how it goes.
Here, people on natural gas.
Nathan Felix, Duke Energy Engineering. Extra subdivision development. I can't think of anything other than the fact that we're putting things out as cable. We don't have any transfer.
Hi, welcome.
I think that's one of the things that we're seeing, like, it's kind of delaying some of these new subdivisions going in.
We have projects that are 6 months behind. We have cable in the ground, but it's not terminated. No transformers. Materials are just backlogs, unheard of. There was a time when Piedmont installed your lines immediately back to curb. That's still the general practice.
Typically, we are trying to get as close to the bank of the curb as we can. And that's typically what we're trying to do, minus the sidewalk where we're trying to avoid those. And it just depends on what county we're in and where it's going. But a lot of times, the city or the state will dictate, well, the city typically dictates where they want our easement. But now typically we go in after y'all.
Yeah, typically there are, I know there's one project that I had to hurry up on, Montrose, and then Grandover. I'm not sure whether y'all are gonna finish the entire install. It's 2 phases, but we've only got 1 phase done, and you gotta take care of both phases altogether. I know we just.
I know we had started on the first part. I don't know if they started on the second part.
It doesn't make me, never mind, but it's, like I mentioned, there's just God's work. No people, I don't know where they all went after COVID. Did they quit on another planet? No materials.
Like I said, it doesn't do us any good to get in before y'all do it, because it ain't the power. Thanks, y'all.
That's another thing, folks want, they want to try to get loan for a home and a promise as to when it will be ready. Our hands are tied, they don't exist.
But hopefully things will turn around, so.
Like your option.
Well, what will happen is it'll turn around for them, and we won't be able to get all the stuff. We had the same thing back last year, at the end of the year. We were, we could run with here in which counts Forsyth, Guilford, Alabama County, Rockingham County, and Randolph County. We were only allowed to run 100 services a week because we just didn't have materials to do it. So we ran into similar situations. Hopefully, right now, we're good.
You guys in the back, are y'all deep? Anything, any new projects you guys know about, or, anything you guys want to bring up?
Project that you brought up, we have commercial out.
Yeah, I don't know much about it. Do you want?
Any way to get that contractor to talk about it?
Oh, yeah, we could talk to, Ronnie, if you would, come out here this next month. That'd be a good idea.
That'd be great.
Was that first day from Guilford or like Sacred?
I think it's the North State residential stuff. Yeah, I'll do that.
He's the project crew supervisor, he's the project crew lead, that's, definitely something we're interested in hearing about.
Well, and they were talking, what I've heard was that it's over, multiple counties in the area, in the hundreds of thousands of feet, but it's spread out. So I'm not sure exactly where.
You don't know if we're talking like Greensboro or
Yeah, all from, Winston area, into Greensboro. But I'll get a hold of them and see if they can jump to this next meeting. And then, you throw the minute? What was your name?
My name's Zach Southfield.
Zach?
Yeah, I'm a duty engineer in Greensboro.
Okay.
I look after all the construction crews, selling the poles and everything here in Fairfax. And I do have a question about something.
Okay.
Here lately, on our problem response, having more communication, not gas. We've been getting a lot of the 999 response, which is there's not showing required amount of time. And typically here in Greensboro, LineQuest, I believe, does a lot of AT&T location distribution line. If your transmission line, we don't have it's different department, but been having an issue with that and not responding in a time they're supposed to. And a question that brought to me by my guys was, well, this happens a lot, and I bet you I got 50 tickets like this. And I finally got a hold of one of the LineQuest supervisors. Start talking to him about it, and when I run across this, I let him know. But my thing is, not responding in the required amount of time. Like if we were sitting there digging, and say if one of my guys missed that on positive response, and we get that, are we reliable or are they reliable?
So by law, you're supposed to check your positive response before you go out there. If you're digging without checking your positive response, because once you check your positive response prior to you going out to the job site, then by law, you're supposed to put up a 3 hour.
Yeah, I'm saying it's just a little bit easier than just on the positive response. It'll look plain and simple and like it was, marked or no conflict, like the rest of them.
Yep.
You just see that code 999 and you read into it deeper and it says,
And anytime you see 999, they didn't respond within the 3 working days. Yeah. I've got a supervisor here in Guilford, contact information. We got to the meeting to see if it's the same as what you have. Okay.
AT&T, they have, different standards when it comes to who's responsible, who's liable. And they pay a lot of attention to interlocate requests, and whether it can be proved that it was marked accurately or not. So that's in a nutshell what AT&T looks at for, liability and a damage. But I appreciate you bringing it up. Anything you want to?
Oh, no.
No.
No, I'm good, thank you.
You're welcome. All right. That's it. That's it for the new business. Does anybody have anything else they want to bring up for this month's meeting?
I was gonna say that SEC was, inquiring that if the case to flag and paint
For us,
for y'all.
we would do, flag and paint. The only things we want are certain lines that we're not allowed to, but if that's the case, we'll reach out directly to the contractor and work with them.
Certain lines that you,
Government lines. We're just transmission, that's all we really have. But there's one in Greensboro, that's it, but we're not even, it's not even in the 811, so we just gotta look out for tickets around there.
Take your spur stuff.
this is where you black this.
Now he's got to kill everybody here because he told you.
They consider, extraordinary circumstances for the close code for this weekend.
No, nobody's reported any, the 811.
No, not in.
Means for like emergencies on call, we all.
No, we do have our internal on call being alert. As far as outside,
Yeah, we just come on quality of call.
I don't know, we should do the main thing.
Yeah, I mean, if they do get weather alerts, but it would have to be, we wouldn't initiate a stop work. I mean, that's the problem with us, there's the water on there, and you can't paint. That we're not gonna stand out there. I mean, so that's gonna become the problem for us, heavy amounts of rain.
Like in a situation like that with us, where you're talking flooding and stuff like that, things of that nature. What's gonna happen at that point is, we're not gonna dig areas either. So we're gonna, if it's a bad enough leak, if we feel like something needs to be done with it, we're gonna back up to the nearest area where we can safely get in and shut that gas line down, and we're gonna shut that whole area down from the water. So we would definitely need you to come out and locate if we have to dig or something like that. As far as wind advisories or anything like that, we won't use that, because we have to respond to any emergency and those types of situations. So, yeah, initially we'll have to. We may just shut it down and come back later and make it repair. We will still have to go out and shut it.
Well, I'm just speaking for other companies. Water, they don't want to leak something. The heavy rain like this, not really sure the direction to go, because they have main in the road, you can't flag it. We can't paint it either, so, it is a good rough situation, big rain.
And what we stress here at Piedmont is, like, a lot of times here we have internal people call and see, but we have to put the name of the person responding to the situation, maybe y'all still get the name and phone number. So my suggestion would be, when you see they come in, is call that name and phone number and say, hey, what have you got going on, what you doing at this point?
Yeah.
And just follow them if they're doing.
Yeah, that's the first thing we do is get a hold of the contact on there, but I'm bad phone number, they don't answer something. After our emergency, we want to get out of there as fast as possible. But yeah, that's all we could do for now, is just call the contact.
Yeah, that's why I do, just call the contact, because the odds are, once you get it, they're probably on the way, but not there. So, they may say, hey, just stand by, let me get there and assess the situation. And they may tell you, like, you may get a locate call in for this address right here, they come here and find out it's flooded. And they're gonna say, hey, you know, we're gonna jump up here to the south end of Virginia, or south end of Virginia, down the road, these two spots, this is where we're gonna shut our lines at.
I just know that central zone, after talking back and forth, care about showing you everything. Right here.
So do they give y'all any kind of?
They're in the middle of, you know, they gotta get dudes on board with it, you know.
Right.
Everyone's gotta be on the same page, so that they're in the middle of discussing it right now.
For the upper management, then they'll send us, then what they'll do is they'll send us something out and then make a determination.
Right.
And typically, well, most of the time what we do is it's all hands on call.
Right.
Type of scenario. Because we've had these situations, we had a tornado come through 5 years ago. Pour all the hell up around here. It's like we had every service station, every distribution person running around along with the fire department, cutting gas meters off.
I was actually in Charlotte when that happened, and we had beautiful drive in Charlotte.
Yeah, we got out here to ground zero, and it was, you couldn't go anywhere.
Right.
We were having to get out on foot, carry our tools, and equipment where we had to go.
Let's wrap this meeting up. Thank you guys for coming out. Appreciate it.
The next meeting is gonna be October the 26th. Not only for the Greensboro or Guilford UCC, but the Northwest Tribe, which consists of 3 counties, Stokes, Davie, and Forsyth, is actually gonna be held at the Piedmont Natural Gas Facility in Winston-Salem. So if you attend this one, please, if you locate utilities or have work in that area, appreciate if you attend that one. That one is at 10, and then this one's at 1:30. The Piedmont Natural Gas Facility again. I send a constant contact out, and I will send that out, I start drawing them out the 15th of this next month for the following months, yeah.
One last thing, Bright Speed transition is set for October 4th. We just got confirmation this morning.
Say again?
Bright Speed.
Yeah.
Taking over October 4th. So the CPT code for CenturyLink will be changing to BSD.
So that's everybody can hear?
CenturyLink local, Lumen, I guess residential side, they've been bought out, they're gonna be coming Bright Speed. It's gonna be October 4th, is when that's switching over. So all the CenturyLink, CPT code are gonna be switched over to BSD. They bought them responsible for Bright Speed.
Now, I know in the past that they were talking about a rehab of this whole facility, and you guys will have to go somewhere else and do your work. And Lumen was gonna see if we could use their facility. Are we okay to use it next month? The facility?
Yeah, I don't think anything's gonna start until after the first of the year.
Okay, so if you can check with us, Matt. This will be, next month will be the last one for the year, not only for this one, but for, the Northwest Tribe, because the next one's fall, Thanksgiving and Christmas, and everybody is gonna be out of town taking vacation. Nobody will be here.
But I feel like we should be good.
Okay. Even to the first of the year?
But they're famous last words, man.
Okay. Yeah, so next month we'll announce the dates for 2023, the first time we're gonna meet. Cool. All right. Thanks, sir. I'm gonna stop recording. Now the real conversation.